Going in there. Should we wait for him?
Good morning, Mr. Chair and
Good
Commissioners.
morning.
Mr. Osher, can you get the witness, please?
Yeah.
And then council will be out with the witness.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is also an offense to lie before the TRRC.
Hajone kadi ko ko bonnugol luwa halugol yeso TRRC do.
So you are expected to speak the truth and nothing but the truth.
Te hajone ko jikke de be hebiden e ma ko doni halugol gonga on tan te ala ko be jikki e ma sona gonga halugol gonga on.
Today we are seeing a different Mr. Cham.
And then wayni ko Mr. Cham goddo me woni yiude yeso amen do.
I do hope that that would also
now he has said yes. He has said yes now.
Okay. All right.
He said yes.
Just please give us the answers that we need, instead of going on a tangent to explain and explain and explain.
Yeah.
Just answer the question asked.
Whatever you say, I will follow.
Luckily, this is not the typical NIA interview. It's not followed by slaps and kicks. But nonetheless, answer the questions asked. You agree that this is not the typical NIA interview?
Psychologically, you have psychological torture.
Well, here you will not be beaten, but also the way things are going can also be another psychological problem. I'm not saying that's what we are doing. I said that about Jibril Waka.
Jibril Waka even accused you of gender-based violence.
Jibril Waka kanko sa o tumirima tume wana da wonde makdum ko beta kon gender-based violence ko duwoni
he said you stripped him naked, you beat him, and then you forced him to play with his genitals.
Wo abortimo ha o labi no jibinira no hida fudda fijurgol tuba makko ba hida fijiramba.
Yesterday, after you mentioned this, I said no, that's not true. And I'm still.
Are you embarrassed by the sexual nature of the allegation? Of the type of torture you are accused of?
Are you embarrassed by that?
Because two me gol he tawtara gol wana gotum so mi tawtara ka te dum wana dum gonga.
It's not part of that. I am ashamed of it. No, but what he has alleged against me is not true.
Jibril Waka was arrested and taken to the NIA. Isn't that true?
Jibril Waka onanga noma ondabaka NIA ka hogomondo ndakdo wona gonga.
Hangisa mi wat dum find out when I in the only net of bondo mungantama homogini what go connection
just answer the question. This is a yes or no.
Yesterday answer. I was able to get information to know how he was arrested. This is what I want to make clear here.
No, the question.
If you don't allow me to that, it's no problem. We can proceed as you wish.
The question is, was he arrested?
Yes.
And taken to the NIA?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Did you come into contact with him?
No.
No.
Sorry for not waiting for the interpreter.
I'm sorry for not waiting for the interpreter, but no. No.
Did you hand him over to Sukuta Jame?
No.
You see?
No.
You see, Mr. Witness.
This is why I want to explain, and you don't want me to explain.
Just hear me out. You would have your chance.
Okay. If I had explained, you would not have to ask that question.
Just
maybe. Sorry.
This is not the NIA interview.
Sorry.
No, it's not the NIA interview. This is the TRC interview.
This is very easy, isn't it? You can laugh and smile.
Yes,
you can drink water. You can have tea.
No, definitely. No respect. Kalamu wanado.
Yes, sorry for that. But I have respect for everybody who is sitting here.
It's normal.
Can you tell us, did you have anything to do with Jibril Waka's arrest?
Jibril Waka ko nangugol makongol jungomano heng.
Wom ko wadi taki fere had wadi indirectly.
Something happened which caused his arrest. Indirectly, I can say I'm involved indirectly.
And how are you indirectly involved?
Le tawa Jibril Waka waktu fofu waktu hombo woni hede bade bonde na wala reconnect yimbe sibe tajama o yaha o jepta fuse o wala be reconnect bo mo jogi fuse ji horama te ko fuse ji nawek.
Okay, wait. Jibril Waka is somebody who used to go around and he has his own fuses which belong to Nawek. But if somebody is disconnected, he will come and reconnect those people using the type of fuse he has, and those fuses belong to Nawek. This is the type of job he was doing. That's one.
Mr. Witness, we are not here.
No, I just filed these things and then make it into a form of a report, and that report went to the headquarters. It resulted into an action which I was not even aware. That's what led to his arrest.
Okay.
So I need to explain that for people to know. I'm sorry.
Can you calm down?
No,
this is the 5th time you are apologizing.
Yeah, could you because komido itu ko woni ko en der am pour ngandon dum kono wona moptu gol gay hunde ko dum tan takki mi doni halera.
The reason why I'm talking like this, I want to lay bare everything that I know about this topic. This is why I'm speaking like this. I want to reveal everything.
No, Mr. Witness, you speaking like this because you are only interested in placating other people for doing wrong and portraying yourself as the person who would do right. No. That is what you're doing. You are so quick to say, oh, this one is a bandit, this one is Sasai. You want to portray everybody else in bad light except yourself. That's what you're trying to do.
Wana non dum woniri min mi do hollira ko wadi ko te ko wadi ko mi do dum andi baydi ko min mi do andi so ko wadi ko mi halta wana non kalitani.
No, I know what happened. This is what I want to reveal. But the way how you are portraying it is not the way how things happen.
Mr. Witness, yes, in Nawek there were a lot of corrupt people. You agree with that?
Yes.
Both Nawek staff members were corrupt. Equally, the NIA officers who were there were also corrupt.
No,
and we don't want to get into that because that is not our mandate. And if don't challenge me, don't push me to that corner to show that the NIA officers who were there were also corrupt. And don't push us there. And we don't want to go there. We are not investigating corrupt practices at Nawek. But if you challenge us, if you push us there, we would show that the NIA officers who were there were equally corrupt. So don't test us, don't push us there. Let's focus on the main issue before the commission. That is the human rights violation. No matter what wrong the person has committed, the person has rights. You are here, you have accepted that you have committed some crime. Nobody has taken you to the corner to beat you. Because you have rights. Equally, those victims of yours, no matter what they did, they have rights. And they deserve to be treated according to law. Do you agree with that?
And me
Yes or no?
E ma ala.
Mi jabi kala kumba wadde.
Just cut the too much talk and answer the question.
Bindina hala ma kan tan jabo da landi ding.
That's what I'm confirming.
Be dumi henne kadi neddo ko wawi wat fof kala ko o wawi wadde. Dumani makko dum na foti wadde de respect. Dum kala ko jomum wawi wadde. Woni ko mawni woni ko famdi.
Yes, I agree. What I'm just saying is that everybody has a right.
No matter what.
When you arrested, when Farmer Naso was arrested from his house
Gila Farmer Naso nanga ka sudu makko.
at Latirkunda Sabiji,
Sara wete de Latirkunda Sabiji.
brought to you at Nawek in cooperative.
Cooperative.
You did not give him his rights, did you? You subjected him to monkey dance until he collapsed.
We know when the Mapurio Nanguno Jodo Daro Jodo Kobera monkey dance how one Horamako.
That was unlawful.
Nunga di Ardani Elua Yadani Elua.
You agree?
Ajabi.
Mi jabi o wadama ton hunde kono o wadani collapse no bidani ha o dumani ni o horti o leli.
I agree that something happened to him there, but he didn't collapse.
Yes, but did you have a right to monkey dance him?
Dahida jogi ngal gedal ankari wigol ma wonde ma yodo monkey dance.
No ala.
No.
But you did it.
Kono wadi mo dum.
Dum bi mami?
Yes, that's what I said, yes.
You tortured him.
Awa ko wadi mo ko mu metti.
Yes.
You knew he had rights.
And digida handi wonde kankati mo jogi gedal.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
You chose to just ignore those rights.
Yes,
that's true.
And you treated him in whatever manner you wanted.
Yes.
And there is also Ibu John.
Ibu John.
Ibukan, rather.
Ibukan, acuake.
Ibukan, go ahead.
Yes, Ibukan.
You tortured him.
No, that's not true.
Maybe you want to hear Ibukan himself say how you tortured him.
You know why? Kafala nande Ibukan tigiri or put ohara
I am here. I can say what happened.
Yes, tell us what happened.
Johnny Hala imbe ko honum feji hakkuno ma Ibukan.
Now I know Libotono office amen on ko dumani hono witebo ombo jogino fake coupons.
There was somebody working at our office who had fake coupons.
What's the name of the person?
On waji wete.
Pasanyang.
Pasanyang.
Okay, just a moment. So Pasanyang was dealing fraudulently.
Fake
coupons. Okay, proceed.
At that time, Muniru was the Director General.
Johnny din fek couponaji ayat o mindaton 1000 dum windeten on tuma so nabito petrol station to tako on woni don.
Okay. Just a moment.
And those fake coupons, sometimes he will write $1,000 and on those coupons, and they'll take it to the petrol station.
Proceed.
So nabidum don be mbata dum kalis be pecha mabe didobe.
And when he goes to the petrol station, they'll give him cash, and the two of them will share that money. Sometimes he will take it in the form of fuel, which he will put in his vehicle.
National food security, something like that.
If I can remember, something like national food, something was written on those coupons.
Then Munir investigate.
Then Munir said that it should be investigated.
So Pasanyang on the Dimbo Ariton because your order Horamako no Ibu.
And they said they called Pasanyang to come, and he knew the other guy called Ibu.
Then on Ibu Kodumani Kobengarko mean Kodumdomi and the hen.
This is what I know about it, and that's the time when they came.
Mr. Cham.
Yes.
Mr. Cham.
You see,
Aye.
You are sugarcoating it. It's not like that.
Ibukan.
He caught Pasanyang with these fake coupons, and he reported. The NIA did not know. There had to be a whistleblower. It was who reported the matter to the NIA. He caught Pasanyang and took it to the NIA. That is what happened.
No,
what I knew about it is different from that.
The NIA intended to protect Pasanyang, so they went after Ibu. Pasanyang, do you agree that Pasanyang committed a crime? Do you agree with that? What should have been the punishment for Pasanyang for committing that fraud against the state? What should have been the punishment?
Punishment no nawai wande dum nawai tak fere o wasa plasma ko.
It can be that he will be dismissed from his place.
No, it's not it can be. It's not it can be. The rules are that if you commit a fraud against the state, you should be prosecuted and punished by either fine or imprisonment or both. That is the law and you know it.
Is
that not true?
Decide.
But that decision doesn't lie with me.
Could you just answer the question? I did not ask.
I said yes, but I don't have that decision.
Mr. Cham,
I said yes.
Could you just answer the question and refrain from going on to other things that you have not been asked?
I did
not ask you whether you had responsibility for deciding that. So answer the questions and just be disciplined. Answer my questions when it requires a yes or no answer. Answer yes or no. Otherwise, we would spend the whole day here and we would not make progress.
You have said something. Allow me to also to talk, counsel.
Mr. Cham.
Sometimes there is need when I say yes, at least to put a word or so. Yes. But when I say no, at least also I have that right. I think, Chairman.
Mr. Cham. Mr. Cham, if you need to explain something, tell me that you need to explain something, and I would yield the
now
floor.
Now we'll go by that.
All right. Okay. You agree with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
You agree with me that the rules required that Mr. Sanyang be investigated and brought to book?
Yes.
You agree with me that the evidence was overwhelming that this guy was defrauding the state?
Yes.
You agree with me that that overwhelming evidence required that he be taken to justice?
Yes. That's true.
Where is Mr. Bojang today?
Mr. Bojang hande.
Mr. Bojang.
Pa Bojang, where is he today?
Pa Bojang.
Who is Pa Bojang?
Pasanyang, sorry.
Pasanyang and the Oriwanoma.
Pasanyang, as I know, he was dismissed.
But before joining Humble Police.
If I can remember properly, he is now working with the police.
Immigration.
And before he came to our office, he was working at the immigration department.
Where is Pasanyang today? Where does he work?
Then we went into Andu in 2019, December.
In December 2019, as I can remember, he was a policeman. In fact, he was posted at the Kuntaru police station.
In fact, he is now a senior police officer.
If I can remember properly his rank, the time I can remember, he was an inspector.
Do you think that that is right under the laws of this country?
That's not correct.
And it happened because Pasanyang was protected.
Is that
not the case? Is that not the case? Yes or no?
Police.
That's what happened. That's what happened. That's up to now. He is a police, but
the question is, this could only happen because Sanyang was protected.
He is being a police officer now, and to the rank of inspector can only happen because he is protected. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Precisely.
Just
hear me out.
Okay, can you allow me here to explain?
Yes, go ahead.
So na dum den sitaino joni rewa noma lawol like hay sitaino dum don takino fere ha o riwa te mi fogi he on isu takano fere ha o riwa simi yejitani den sitayi o riwa ma dum hade makko okke golle dula goddo taw na fonno cheke because high immigrant
at our office, he should have been investigated. Then after his employment with us, after this incident happened, when he was dismissed, and when the police were taking him, they should also have investigated him. But that didn't happen. That's what I wanted to say.
Background information.
That's what should have happened.
When they
should have checked on his background before appointing him.
When people apply to go to the police, don't they, as a matter of routine, go to the NIA for background checks?
Si tawi mi yejitani tawi ko Gambia Armed Forces on tuma dum wono wadde because kono non after dum don mi andana ko dum don nawa kono nanon fonno wondirde kono fonno wondirde.
If I can remember,
security service normally la foti chege.
As I can remember, it was the Gambia National Army, but
Gambia Armed Forces.
Gambia Arms, but apart from that, the thing that should have happened was, before employing anybody, his background information should have been checked.
You see, Mr. Cham, the system was the NIA protected its personnel. No, they brutalized others.
No, afero walor no. NIA ben ligoro be danda no be jetta wobbe ben be na
and let me. You have to listen to the question. You were the person selected to come and deal with Ibukan, and you brutalized him.
That is not true.
Well, you were based in Nawek, weren't you?
On time. Yes, at that time.
Yes. What were you doing?
When Munir was DG, I was not at the Nawek.
Where were you based?
Either at the post office or at Numanin. I can't remember exactly.
But if you were at post office, what were you doing at headquarters?
Well, whether I was in Numanin or with the economic. I cannot remember the exact Numanin.
Maybe I was. It could be that I was at the economic. I can remember this one. It was in the evening.
So you can remember this incident?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then what happened?
When
it was in the evening.
When they came, Pasanyang and Ibu.
Detained until the following day.
Both of them were detained until the following day.
And
were you the investigating officer? Answer the question. Answer the question. Were you the investigating officer? Yes or no? Answer the question.
No, I'm saying yes, but can I come in
just
here?
Leave it there.
Yes, can I come in here?
Yes.
Just tell me
my role.
I will ask what your role is.
No, but we
you have to exercise discipline in this process. And allow me to do my work. You understand? Fortunately, there are no slaps and kicks here. But nonetheless, respect the process and answer my question. Were you in charge of that investigation? Were you in charge of that investigation?
No, when I mean.
No, it was not me.
Who was in charge of that investigation?
It was Munir himself.
But Muniru was Director General.
Yes.
So you want to tell me that it was the Director General who conducted the investigation? That is what you want to tell us?
He was the person who directed.
Okay. But who was actually in charge of the investigation?
I was among those who did the investigation at the starting.
Did you lead the investigations at the starting?
Yes, at the beginning.
Exactly.
The first day.
Yes. But you seem not to have had any recollection of this incident at all. At first, you pretended you did not know about it.
Yes, I said that because I mentioned the coupons.
Yes, but you suggested that you were not involved in this at all. Do you recall just telling the commissioners that you were in fact not there at the time? You were at post office.
My postings, because my posting,
what I knew about your question was that where I was posted. That's why I said I was posted at the post office. I cannot remember exactly where I was posted, in fact, but I can remember the incident. And what I can remember, I can say that.
Okay.
But what I cannot remember, I will not be able to say that.
You see, you have to listen. Instead of coming out charging and arguing, it's not necessary.
I'm sorry if that's the way you see it, that we are arguing. I'm sorry about
it. The problem is you being too talkative instead of just focusing on answering the questions asked.
Okay.
Just answer the questions asked.
Okay, that's good.
When Ibu Khan was brought to the NIA, where were you?
When he came, I was there.
Did you come into contact with him?
Yes.
Did you take him to his cell?
No.
Who took him to the cell?
If he was put in a cell, it must have been done by the security.
You telling me if he was put in a cell? It must have been. So you're just speculating about what has happened. We don't need that speculation. You were there and you are responsible for the investigation. Tell us what happened.
What happened, that's what I'm saying. When they came initially, that time, Pasanyang was there and I said he should be giving his statement.
We are talking about Ibu.
I'm coming with Ibu. Then
and just the same time
Ibu.
that Ibu also came. When Ibu came,
because
at that time Munir himself was there. In fact, he was at the door. Then he himself, I said to him, that's Ibu. And in his presence, I handed them over to the security. Himself and Pasanyang.
And you are skipping, deliberately skipping things that have happened. You're avoiding something, aren't you?
No, that's not
you
the case.
are avoiding the beatings. As soon as he arrived, you attacked him with a stick and you were beating him mercilessly.
If that's what has happened, I would have owned up to it. But no, that's not true. I didn't beat him.
Mr. Cham, you are not the only NIA officer.
Mr. Cham,
you know that. You have over 500 staff. And this particular person knew a lot of the NIA officers. Isn't that this?
Now I won.
Yes, that could be.
And you had no problems with him, did you?
I have problem. I have the problem.
Yes, we never had a problem.
Why would this guy select you out of 500 plus people?
To
say that you tortured him. Munir was there. He was your boss. He did not accuse Munir. Other people were there. He did not accuse them. He accused you.
Yes, I will just say that it's false. There is no truth in it.
It's hatred.
It's just hatred.
Because you're too handsome? So he hates you?
Well, you said that.
I don't want to use the words Ibukan used in his statement. To put it mildly, he said, Omar Cham beat me mercilessly. And he told me, you would know that when you come here, me, Omar Cham, we will beat you. That's what happened.
That's not true.
You would not admit it because your victims are already way too many.
If it is not true, there is no way that I can accept it. It is not true, so I will not agree to that. Because it is not true. I will not accept that.
You tortured too many people. That's true, isn't it?
Yes, I did it to some people.
To a lot of people.
Yes, I did it to people.
I am saying to a lot of people. To a series of people.
Yes, as far as they've gone up to 7 people.
We are now at 9.
Yes, but you know, this is what they say. That's their version, not mine.
The fact is, Mr. Witness, you are a serial torturer. That is the truth.
No, that's not true.
So if you torture a series of people over time, which you did, isn't it? You tortured a series of people over time.
And the Kalako, what they so I mean, what accept Kadi, because by the coming when you don't coming when you coming half it on.
Just what happened in my presence, as far as I am their head, I will accept it.
Mr. Witness,
say down.
Just answer the question. And the rambling. Just answer the question.
I'm answering your questions. You said I tortured people and I said yes.
In a series of tortures. Yes or no?
Yes, there are people I tortured, yes.
That makes you a serial torturer.
Yes, if that's the way you see it, yes, okay.
No, it is seen. Not he seeing it that way.
In fact,
if that's the way
it is
seen. Yeah, okay.
Well, that's the way it is. Or it was, for that matter. That is the way it was. You were a serial torturer.
I agree that I did people.
Yes.
And in fact, all these high-profile cases that came to you, including Chilaba Samate and others, they were tortured.
I said, as for them, no, things that I didn't do, I will not accept that. I will not agree to that. And I am saying this, and Allah is hearing me.
Consistent on that.
Yes.
You also tortured Esa Baji Jesus in the same manner in which you did.
Allah pima awadi Jesus Esa Baji kadi ko metti no lapirda no wadirda non isilla ba samere ko no wadirda Esa Baji kadi
dum wana dum gonga dum tagi hande mi do wiya kala mo wana kala mo nganta ma ka gido Isa Baji he kala mo nganta ma ka gido am ya anyago Allah pour Allah rewala wal hakkunde am he mako kala mo wana yo nyago dum pebe pour Allah wada dum te ya Allah yo Allah wadum.
I'm praying to Allah. Now, okay, Johnny, Fad. Yes, Fad. I'm praying to Allah to decide between me and those people used to me falsely. I'm praying to Allah for Allah to judge between me and them.
May God help us all.
Yeah, thank you very much. Amen.
May God help us all.
You Allah wallu yam fop.
And you Allah rewla hakune amabe. Be dum ton.
Okay, now that you are invoking Allah.
Yes.
Who
else did you torture at the NIA? Between you and Allah. Who else did you torture at the NIA? Tell us.
I cannot remember.
Because they are... Because they
apart from those I mentioned.
Because there are too many. You only accept them. Mr. Witness, just answer the question. You see, whenever I touch a nerve, you just...
Yes, because
you explode.
Because hala kunganta wana ko hebi te dumdo wana ko hunde dumaninde ko hunde wande serious te wana dum gonga
the reason for that is
the question is, who else did you torture at the NIA?
I cannot remember them
because there are too many.
No, I will not agree to that.
Gazi and his group?
Gazi
you
I have told you what happened about that.
You tortured them?
They were tortured.
You participated in their torture?
I was there then, I have to be part of it.
Yes.
Yes,
we made sure they are handcuffed because when they had drug or burnt up.
Mr. Witness, you see, this is the first. Listen,
I'm not denying it.
Yes, but now is the first time you have ever admitted it.
No, I told you this.
Never.
No, I told you this.
When?
Check.
It's not even in my notes.
It is there.
I just decided to go back onto that. You never mentioned it at all.
But maybe you didn't hear when I told you. But now, as far as I have admitted now, then take that.
Because they have Bora heavy message or one day Johnny drug or Yama Bonto. So Johnny me them put it now. So don't know Johnny me them put it with handcuff. You know we behind. So during that, you know, scuffle and suit. So everybody makes on it their handcuff. So don't pirim param body don't go.
Okay, Johnny Fat. When we got the information. When we got the information that there is drugs have been found at Bonto, that's the time we decided to cuff them and go along with them.
Okay, can you define Pirimparam for us?
And what he was saying was that when we were about to cuff them, there ensued a scuffle. That's what he means by Pirimparam.
No. No. He said something scuffle, and there was Pirimparam. Yes. So tell us, what is this Pirimparam?
When they had min kebi call when drug or John or Yama Bonto, Teminam put yadu hemabe.
When we had this call that drugs have been found at Bonto and we were supposed to go there.
The question is, what do you mean by Pirimparam?
Allow me hala. Kono go di an ajabata mi hala.
Mr. Witness.
You put it at me hala. You may be ngana because you may nanjidi anukuwadi. Chairman, sometimes I think you have to come in here, Chairman.
Because people want to know what happened, so this is why I want to explain.
Bishop wants to know what is Pirimparam.
No, Pirimparam. When I am in the Hamin Podel, John Midam put a foot in cell, in Balabe handcuff. Mabe ko mabe John because min bi be no wonder why then just happen to drug or Yama.
Johnny Fad, I informed that. My friend, you don't want this to be translated.
Sorry.
Mr. Witness, is it not true that the Pirimparam is in fact the beating?
Yeah. Yes.
So you avoided it by calling it Pirimparam.
What he said was that when we told them that we are going to take them to Bonto, we started taking them out of the cells and cuffing their hands. Yes. That's the time when this scuffle ensued.
And that's the time the Pirimparam started. And that is when you beat them.
We started that. And we ensured their handcuffs. And they
were pressed tightly.
They were handcuffed. When I mean handcuffed, whether it was pressed tightly.
I know they were cuffed. Whether the handcuffs were tight or not, I didn't put the cuffs on their hands. They were handcuffed, whether they were tight or not, I don't know. But after the cuffing, we went with them.
And Mr. Witness, you tortured them because you have just been informed that drugs were discovered in these people's premises at Bonto.
On lapuno be ma on wadno be ko musi sabuna on gelabe famini on wondema ko palace mabbe du woni Bonto drog on yamaton on lapuno.
Isn't that the case?
Ndawana no walore.
Nani wobe hemabe onanon nanon why wonir
it may be that way.
Nanon why wonir
it could be, but wait, let me come.
Yes. Nanon why won because I da we the assumption na ya da we the
because you don't like the word assumption.
Me do ya have further pour mbada understand
why I want to go further is I want you to understand. This is why I want to go further.
Answer the questions.
They
were beaten because it was discovered that they had a cache of drugs. Yes, that's
part of it. That happened, yes.
Yes. All right. You and your colleagues were incensed by what you heard, that these guys had a cache of drugs.
Yes, that is part of it. That happened.
Yes. And that is why he was beaten. They were beaten mercilessly.
Yes,
that was part of it. Yet Silaba Samata is there. He claimed he was doing it for the president.
We wonder makanko dem golle de wada no ko president ngongo yami wada inde president ngo wada no
and nothing happened to him.
Te haifus wada animo.
Because min kebi ko min chogli ko fo he mako.
Because we got all we wanted from him. That's why.
Mr. Witness, the NIA would even beat you before you utter a word.
No, that's not me. I don't.
You only beat afterwards. You don't beat before. You beat before or after?
It depends on what he did.
What happened?
Or it depends on what happened.
So in drug cases, the moment the allegation comes out, you start beating.
Illegal
connections, you also beat.
No, as for me, that's not the way.
Okay, but the Bonto guys.
The Bonto guy, ko onyan nyani duma te ta boy sa gol ben hay dara ben jabani.
And those people refuse to talk.
So you beat them.
Minene ko am mi dengandi do odon drug num wawa do ar hen do lady tawata yimbe do tigi mbokani hen dum ko wadi ko do dum be mba dum do aduta ala Gambians at the top level be ngantama be tawaka hen dum kay minene ko am minen fo mi den dum gandi.
We knew that amount of drugs cannot be brought into the country without the involvement of top-ranking officials.
Yes,
like
prominent people.
Like
prominent.
Why you humble? Why humble?
Yeah, I said top officials. That can mean
you have somebody in mind. Isn't that the case?
This what I can say, top officials. Council. Council sometimes
council sometimes you try to push me to a corner. You know what has happened.
I was not here.
No, Council, I know you were not here. You know, like even
Mr. Witness, you have somebody in mind when you said that. Who do you have in mind?
When I say if in on time ni had time for what had the modum and the tigi.
When this thing happened, before in fact everything was revealed,
Jesus asked IG, I no time, but we are no one you need to red blocks along the road.
Jesus himself as IG.
Pare dum don fo godum dum nama oka chobange te pare kadi ya jame horama ko hewbe na tumi wonde ma makko horama ko moyen andi hunde.
And apart from Yaya Jammeh himself, a lot of people were saying that he knew something about those drugs.
So Mr. Witness,
service chiefs, you know, have put a clue. And the
service chiefs themselves could have a clue because they suspected they could have a clue.
Is that the reason why the drug disappeared?
Any drug simi already disappear kali tigi lawani kan pos. Kono soba.
If I say the drug has disappeared, well, that is not very clear to me, but that's the suspicion that it disappeared.
Why?
The reason why I said that,
usually drug destruction sinawada.
Usually, if drug is going to be destroyed, it will be publicized and it will be shown where it has been destroyed. And that amount of drug, if it is going to be destroyed,
press also interest. After is lamungu sibe jidi kolabi have buy holixa. In fact, golo mi dengara sunu te komin ngata ko sunu na tawahe so mijima on hitan nangam konanganoko.
The press will be invited and the government will publicize the information to tell people that so and so amount of drug is going to be destroyed so that people will be aware.
You telling us that did not happen?
As for me, that's how I knew it.
Bunsane and Co, were they tortured?
Bunsane e yimbe makko be ndabben don kadi be lappano ma be wadano ko musi.
Ndemin gondi hemabe ndemin dabitabe be madaka torture.
When we were looking for them and when we were with them, they were not tortured.
Now when we are looking for them, when we are investigating them, ndemin dabita kulemabe, ndemin bichita kulemabe.
Sabi that be to go. That's looking for somebody.
To English.
Ko vida ko e pular ko dum mihali. That be to go is looking for something.
You know, sometimes
don't argue with the interpreter. If you're not satisfied,
yes,
just say what you want to say.
I'm sorry.
The interpreter is just helping the commission.
Yes. And sometimes what I have discovered is he made the direct from flag to English. And sometimes it makes difference.
Yes, you know what you want to say. If it is not conveyed to your satisfaction, just tell us what you want to say. Don't quarrel with the interpreter.
I'm not quarreling. I'm sorry. If it is a quarrel.
Yes.
As a quarrel.
You are today in your quarreling gap. You quarreling with the interpreter, you quarreling with me.
The interpreter, I know I will apologize to him because since yesterday, it seems that I'm upsetting him. Yesterday I was praying when he was going, but I would have apologized to him. And I will do that in due course. What I want to say is when we were investigating, doing our interaction with them, because they were also already dismissed and then detained. So when we come to investigate them, during that course, our interaction with them, there was torture meted on them.
Where they
during that course. Then subsequently after, that one, I cannot say they were not tortured. You understand?
It means therefore you can say that they were tortured.
The chances are very high, yes, that they will be tortured.
It's not just chances. It's not just chances, Mr. Witness. They were actually tortured.
Yeah. And if that is, I will take it.
No, you accept they were tortured.
It is very high.
I know that
Mr. Witness,
chances are high that they might be tortured.
You just told us they were tortured.
What they got on detained for more than 72 hours in itself.
Well, I said that even to detain somebody for more than 72 hours is also torturing.
It's a violation.
Mr. Witness, we're not talking about unlawful detention. Just answer my question. You know that Bunsane and Co were tortured at the NIA
If you say I know, I will tell you no. I do not know. But I strongly believe it is a possibility.
It was an actuality.
It could be.
Did you see them limping?
No, I didn't see them.
Did you see injuries on them?
No.
Did you see swollen faces? Did you see anything on them to suggest they were tortured?
I that's not clear to me. But the time when I was there, that didn't happen.
We were interacting with them.
Yet you are bold enough to say that in all likelihood they were tortured. You definitely know something, which is the reason why you said that. Because everything that you show negatives torture. Yet you are bold enough to say that in all likelihood they were tortured. That assertion can't be baseless. What were you
thinking? Hamin company min kebdane ma be affaire ko don bian mi ontuma mi ndarani dum don ko mbita ko bom sako hamido anda ko na wodi ndako wodan.
What I said is that when we were interacting with them, when we were together with them, no torture took place until we did our investigation, until when we were ready with them. Then after we left them, that's what I mean, after we were not with them, maybe something could have happened in our absence.
And I did not have the see or try to find out whether they are limping, whether they have injuries, swollen face or what. I don't do that.
The reason why what you say is not believable is because you said in all likelihood they were tortured. What is your basis?
What I said is my basis.
So you have no basis?
What I said, that's what I know.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Clearly, you have committed offenses.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
In fact, many of them.
And they actually many of them.
You see, you come back to the same thing, many of them.
Answer my question.
Yes.
You have committed many offenses.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
If you are not granted amnesty, you will be prosecuted.
Yes, I know that.
Are you guilty of those offenses?
Yes, I said that, and I even said that I am apologizing, and I said at the end of everything also, I will apologize.
Yes.
And do you realize that if you continue to speak untruth, you would not qualify for amnesty?
Ndahida fami wanda masita iwani kontini yarugol ni ala halude gongo hida salotang hino wawi shaishi atorike puru yafwe no wayi hebata hen yafwe
dumna kamla ipos.
Yes, that's very clear to me.
Good. So I just flag that so that you have that at the back of your mind. Yesterday,
yes, that's in my mind from here to the next wall.
Okay. Yesterday you told the commission that you did not say that you did not see Silaba's son. You did not hold Silaba's son to take him upstairs. You in fact did not see him.
What I said was that Silaba's child, but I didn't mention the word son.
Okay, let's play the video, and then we see what you have said.
Video
That's good.
Affaire bi ñëwut fii de. Thank you. As that is being done, perhaps we could just proceed onto other things.
No problem.
And then we would come back to this. So, we would take statements from Bunsane and Co. And I ask you again, were they tortured? And the commissioners are listening intently. They would be the people to decide your amnesty application if you apply. Bunsane and Co. were they tortured?
Time we arrested them and we were investigating them. Okay.
They were arrested. Okay.
Time they were arrested and we were investigating them.
And
we write their statements. Nothing was done to them. And I was not aware of anything that was done to them.
After
that,
I'm saying that.
Now
something has happened to them. That's what I said.
What happened to them?
What I mean is that if it's said that they were beaten, I am saying that that's a possibility. Yes.
We are not talking about possibilities. Were they tortured?
Well, when
no, that no di dum don yawti ndako be lipama mi wata wi de be lipaka pour mi gondina wi go wonde ma dega be do lipama pour andi godum non fama dum non kono non dum wayi wonde.
When we were taking statements, we don't beat them and they were not beaten. But after statement taking, when we were not with them, that's what I mean by that something could have happened to them. But when we were taking their statements, we didn't do anything to them.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to this. I think.
Yesterday I said that. I just said a child. I didn't say a son or
okay, Mr. Cham.
So that because they are finding it difficult to find, so that time is not
Mr. Cham.
Mr.
Cham.
It's okay. Let us have a look at it.
Just leave it.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Don't be too argumentative.
No, I need to go back to the matter.
Yes, I'm sorry about this.
The Lang Tombong crew. Did you participate in that panel? Yes.
The coup that he was accused of, no, I was not part of that.
You did not participate in that investigation?
No, I was not part of the investigation.
We have heard, did you come to know whether they were tortured or they were not tortured?
I know that it was said that they were tortured. Yes. In those days, the news came out in our office that they were tortured.
And do you believe that that information is true? And we have received information that babies were brought to the NIA. For human sacrifice?
Sadaka.
That I am not aware of it, and I have never even heard of it between me and Allah.
How about poisoning of people?
I know
that someone called Bambamane
what if office ameno andi 2006 Nduk Cham Kurzao.
He was one of the first people, even either among the first people to be aware of that information.
Can you tell us what is the information?
Mako wano gagdo vi wande no ma soldar hebe pariwa de kudata.
He's the person who came and gave us the information that soldiers wanted to carry out a coup.
Min komi andi office ameno ko he turu bamba min gandir wande no ma kudata na 40 watt nyande noga se go march.
And it was his information which made us know that on the 21st of March they were about to carry out a coup. And at that time,
Antuma mako horemako ohalani dum Captain Sen he do no me andre.
He himself gave that information to Captain Sen.
Then Captain Sen no me andre kadi ko on what you call Mariana one day president Mauritania pour ohalana mo ko dum do kewi.
And it was Captain Sen who called Mariana, who was then with the president in Mauritania.
On Bamba hadema ko mai alarba adani ko asset o mai kono alarba hadema ko mai min jidi.
And Bamba died. He died on Saturday, but I saw with
on
him
Wednesday before
on Wednesday,
Saturday he died.
Before Saturday he died.
Minjidi Kanzul ayatake ko kalami ko.
Just go ahead. Okay.
The commissioners are listening.
Okay. On
that Wednesday, he told me. He said that there are some people he suspected who want to poison him so that he can die. He himself, Bamba himself, told me this. This is why when I heard about his death on Saturday, that's the first thing I remembered. His words, what he told me.
Musa Jamme he tumbul tamba minen kibari ganda do chiudo mbongantama hewbe nangumi sa ko hebi wonde no ma ben ndebe tampi l'hôpital.
And Musa Jamme and Tumbul Tamba, a lot of people also came to know that they also suffered and they were in fact hospitalized.
Yimbe hewbe na chobi.
A lot of people suspected that.
Antuma because put the halaji but the haltogol hebe wainoni Johnny kaltori.
And those two people, what happened was that they started talking by themselves and saying some very serious things. And I heard that they were also poisoned so that they can die. And a lot of us heard that news, and a lot of us, in fact, believed what happened. That's what happened.
Who was accused of doing this poisoning?
Hombo tegangal tumal wonde ko kanko wadi dam bade jonnugol be yimbe o posin.
Bamba ndako ora.
Is it Bamba or who?
Bamba, Tumbul, and Musa Jamme.
Bamba on me anda ko hombo because oviani kam mi kesani molam lo ko hombo hebe o foge kono mi andi nombo andi wonde no ma ko government security agents kono dain Tumbul Tamba he Musa Jamme yimbe be ko e mbiata wonde no ma ko ya Jamme tigibi non minen ni dum ni hena dum dumani ko non.
And as for Bamba, I don't know. What we had was the government security agents. But as for Tumbul Tamba and Musa Jamme, what they said was it was Yaya Jamme. He gave the directive.
Did the NIA investigate that?
NIA
Three security agents dying of poisoning.
I was not aware of that.
Okay. You were aware of disappearances of individuals?
What do you call me on the hand?
Yes, I knew something about it.
Can you tell us?
Randi marena hebe on nangidan wobe soldaro marena ibulo he ba me tutogani ile tigi.
You know, Marena was arrested with some other people. Fat.
Sorry.
Marena was arrested with some people like Ibulo and Ba and some others.
Ben benanga be pare Arabia Johnny Ben ko nabeteno be janjambure be pare he lawal he mo hebe accident ontuma be bosti be ndogi be jehi.
And it was stated that they were arrested and they were en route to be taken to Janjambure. Their vehicle had an accident and that's where they escaped.
Ko lamungu tigi okigno ngol kongol kibaru ji pour hollugol yimbe bene ko non woni ben.
Was that news correct or was it
on kibar ko gonga ndako fenande?
Hibaro wana o gonga because adani ndedum wadi horem hayminen soma so min puddi lamdondir. Like officer men put the lamb ko hebe ngono hen because a hulanat ben te be pare hono dum wawi riwanir
because we ourselves at the office we were unable to believe it because how could that happen when they were being taken to Janjambure and they were under custody.
Sandari yimbe be gantama wabe no be don ni sina nabe from one point to another ko wadi ko correct no security wadi ni taika security minded da andi kule security ka heba moto mo gantama on o wana yeso ko jogi be fetelaji ngonta hemako den keba moto gono helerinde on o wada wonbe be gantama ben woni nangabe te be par ko potbe wade handcuff kadi ngeba jogi be fetelaji hender on moto den keba di moto goddo baaw at least si famdi ha famdi ko moto ji dido moto ji tati potta hebde.
Things like that, people of high profile like those people, if they were being transported from one point to the other, there should have been serious security arrangements like in front. There would be one vehicle in front where you will have the security and who will also be armed with guns, and there will be another vehicle in the middle, and those people on board that vehicle where they will be armed, and in fact where those people arrested, where the vehicle that they will be occupying will also be guarded, and there will be another vehicle behind where you will have some security officers who will also be armed to make sure that these people are escorted to wherever they are being taken to.
You are saying the government lied.
How
about Aruna Jame?
Aruna Jame no, affaire kono.
Andi Aruna Jame mi yejiti hitande na kono mi fogitan ta ontuma 2000 so afford.
One time I was on duty at Kaninlai. I forgot the day, but it must be with 2000 and hodum.
No, me had it. Me forgitan ko had a 2004. Year 2004.
It was before the year 2000.
Around that time.
Around that time.
Johnny, barado are midani ko minyara president. Kono indene non mido wai dumani. Manda ko Haruna kono non. Me forgitan ko Haruna min he fogo.
But I think the name is Haruna, and I heard that he was the president's brother.
The we tell Usman Tamba, imino officer men tako min went on duty or return.
Usman Tamba, in fact, I was on duty that day when he came there.
We wonder no ma wari ko Usman ko odono arani ono vito minyara brother president. So one non wari o yimbo don taon tumasa hebe don kutanno nage ko hede don o tawa.
And he said he came for that man who happens to be the president's brother. And they left together.
Who came for him?
Usman Tamba.
Usman Tamba came to collect him.
And who was Usman Tamba?
He was working at our office, but he is retired now.
And then what happened?
They went together. They went together from our headquarters. And I think, if I can remember properly, that man was Haruna. the man he came to collect.
How did you know it was Haruna?
Honno andirda wondema ko Haruna o aranno.
Because mi fogi so ana jalama mi fogi ko Haruna woni ko trama te on ko mawdo wona o suka.
And I know that Jalamang happens to be an elderly person, but this man is younger. So as they said he was the president's brother, this is why I thought it was Haruna.
I know that Jalamang is the president's brother, and the other one is also an elderly person. Wana Osuka, though I believe it is Haruna.
Yeah, I believe that.
Did you hear him being called by that name?
If I can remember properly, that's the name they called him, if I can remember properly. In fact, there was a problem there.
What was the problem?
Jalamang. Kono president o ta homboto nder galle makko do ko to nder galle to sa o jepta ko daya jame on tuma homboton makko hore makko.
Jalamang was not there, but the president himself was at home, and that's where he was picked.
So on tuma jalang ari nakam lamdo, ko hombo arani do kari mbiwo mi anda ko hombo arani mbodo hombo lamdo kadi hoto be na imbo so o woni hombo farsa pour mi halan bo ko hombo arani mbodo te hoto o naba.
And it was Jalamang who came there and started asking me, who came here to collect this man, and where was he taken to?
Which man did he tell you?
If I can remember, he used the name Haruna Jamme.
Then on to Manon, Ombokam Alani Hombolobi, Ombokam Anda coming Kotika president, Combion Fokulma Water, and Biomana and won't come in kept the president of Colum Adimindo.
And in fact, the man was angry when he was talking. He was saying that, don't you know that I am the president's brother? Then I also told him that, yes, but we are also here for a purpose.
Yeah. Did you tell him where Haruna was?
No,
no, I didn't tell him. Because there were many people. Even if I am going to tell him, I will not be able to tell him there because there were many people present.
So you never told him that Haruna was picked up by the NIA?
Yes. Later on, he agreed to talk to me separately. Then that's the time I gave him the information that it was Usman Tamba who came for Haruna.
Oh, no, was Haruna seen?
That's not clear to me.
How about Masi?
Masi, no?
Masi on mi anda no yar kono ado first am yagolton mi anda dum ko 96 dako 97 mi andi on tuma kay Masi mi yanno mo tebe pare ko
2006.
Masi
mi do my time bo mi yehi oton.
I don't know what happened to her.
Alani min ko on time ton labi didi dum woni ado am yagongol ton dum ko 96 wala 97 on tuma mi no Masi because do siwtori sa o kanu mi nyabri sa on tuma tana sati because ton ta ko hewi wada ka ton taw.
I was going there around 96. That's the time when I used to see Masi. In fact, sometimes he used to give us food because things were not very well, things were not easy at that time at the place. That's the time when I used to see Masi. Yes. But after that, I don't see her anymore.
The NIA was also involved in elections. This country.
Yes.
Do what?
And the elections now normally can mean badete hender lady we are deployed already.
When elections are approaching and about to take place, they deploy us around the country because we have offices around the country.
What is your purpose of deployment?
41 de ko pour checkgol pour what affaire on the election o yara no 14 yaro
just to go and check and make sure that elections happen accordingly the way it should happen.
Is it to help the government?
dako fabita ko lamugo
rig the elections?
Pour be ganyo water den.
2016 wadi.
That happened in 2016.
The government wanted to steal the election and they wanted the NIA to help.
Lamugo fala wujjude carte den pour de jonno be fala NIA be yo fabito be.
Wadi ko sanari dum ko dum tamba tawide.
Well, what happened, if you look at it properly, that's the only reason.
That's the only thing you can say.
That's the only
that it is, of course, to rig.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Honnun taki halu dadum.
De ajame we want na election of fewani unawadi dulaji yimbe makonja benjabani yimbe makobe ngota nangam they don't get it onto my office held on town.
After the elections, when Yaya Jammeh said elections were not fair,
they
prevented his people from voting.
Then lady Sako you are during the no voter register the fourth office headquarters amen.
And our people who were posted at various places in the upriver and some other areas, they had to bring all the voter register books.
Dum sanari dum Johnny ko taki fere dum mara go ton ko wata ma holudan kari woti he kari wotani so ananden be biya be wotani be ko ben pon ben kada wot wala ko ben dumani pour pon wotande ya.
And when you go through those books, the only thing you can find out is Mr. So and so voted or he didn't vote. And those who didn't vote, those people were the ones you can check.
Dum aya jonna no hollira pugano yamme ko wita ko yimbe makko na kada wat wot ayat be don be biata wonde ko be do ben goni ben kare be jotta nombaji di ofo. And
what they wanted to do was to take the numbers of the people who didn't vote. Then that's the time when they'll say Mr. So and so didn't vote and so on, and those people were going to be the people who were going to be checked.
That seems to me like some desperate investigative moves and not necessarily an effort to steal an election. Would you agree?
No. Why no? Ko bittere wadi kono non wona wondema ko non wote fi wote foti topitade kono don dey ko bittere wayri ontuma be no wayno dal o yani.
Ani ko bittere ndenganantama hende wondi he mijo pour adugo dal ko wana lawol.
Well, that means truly they wanted to do something which was illegal.
A disparate investigation aimed at trying to defraud.
Yes.
But that aside, the NIA was used to intimidate political opponents of the APRC.
NIA o kidmen golle pour be hulbina yimbe mo anduda ko ben dal be sobi wo be daranan yeso leydi ndi.
Ani dum mi do way okur difference am because sanari goddi di si be ngani joni an ka kalifa te hada jogi bawo.
When they check and know that this person is an elderly person and he has a good background,
mada fere no be kebirma ida be belni to ma no gondik da hema be wala be mada pewje ma be no be duman kebirma dal.
They will always set plans how they can win you over. They will coerce you to join them, or they will set other plans whereby they will be able to get what they want from you.
Like what kinds of plans? What kinds of plans?
And like Sanari OJ.
Just like if you look at somebody like OJ.
2006, by the mean onto my mean Gabotonobe, because me he meet Botown, me he meeting Abuko headed on area for onto my presidential election or Yajame Fokiti town.
In 2006, I attended meetings at Ibo town and some other places. The meetings that the UDP were carrying out.
I think something is missing in the interpretation. Okay. I had fitna, but that was not interpreted.
Fitna, that means to create problems, to bring trouble.
But that was not interpreted.
Sorry about that.
Could you say that again? Could you go back to that?
We ruta hala
andi mako hambo foti yawtu town alan be poti taro ley ni ma e fo kono be jatata ni ko goto yawta town ha juuta den goddo ne rewayn so nde be jawti town on tuma UDP tana hede kombo gay kaniswin municipality be gay mbada meeting ha den pour ya jamme yawta
if they always give chance for these heads to pass. For example, if Yaya Jammeh is supposed to pass by somewhere, they will make arrangements for him to pass, and it will take some time before the other one, like the opposition, will be allowed to come and pass by the same area. Just to avoid trouble.
Joni oje non hemitina ji digay ko wona tombo hala ji dingalantama.
And for OJ, the meetings that he was attending and where he was speaking, kohodum halaji halata.
Mbola halaji mbo ndari ndira lamu jawara he ko be kebi ko mabbe ko galleji do hebi wala ko way heb he ko jawara ko goddo way heb he Yaya Jammeh he yimbe makko be on waktu ko be mbawi ko heb he gede kewde de o halta de ganantama lamu ngu tawi so yaadi ni nderle di o taroge ma hedi halaji tan yimbe hewbe dala dum te dum na way wat fere ha be nguma be ngonta do mabbe. Sorry,
what OJ was saying, he was comparing the Jawara government and the Yaya Jammeh government. The good things that were happening during Jawara's government, those things and things that were happening in Yaya Jammeh's government, these things were the things that he was comparing. And the way he was doing it is a way whereby they will win more people to come and join them instead of joining the other party. That's the way he was doing his campaign.
My question is, was the NIA used at any point in time to intimidate people?
NIA what to
support the APRC? Or to withdraw their support from the opposition?
Yes, I said that.
Yes. General, John, yes, General, it involves security.
Yes, I said that. Yes. Just as I was saying, I gave OJ's case as an example. This is why, in fact, he was arrested and taken to Kairaba station. So that he will not be part of the team who were going to tour the country.
Do you have any other example of such steps taken by the security agencies in order to give an unfair advantage to the government in power?
There was somebody also called Ture. He was staying around Tobacco Road.
Keba Ture?
Keba Ture. Antuma ne omedno adi ta kadi election one norek ta ambojogi kadi alani next election area parliamentary election ko ambojogi parallel results ingantama di check he official result gokirado.
As for Keba Ture, there was a time when he had results which were quite different from the results that were announced. And I heard that he once came with those things to our office. And that was Profuntingol Homwe UDP on Keba Ture, and it was a plan to remove him from the UDP.
Keba Ture was at some stage tortured, wasn't he? Keba Ture,
gilaw adanoton what hebi no gamanda na wanda otapa mama o dama ton ko musi NIA ka hogoton dawana gonga.
Ani dum donde dum labani kam kon non na way wonde.
That's not clear to me, but it's a possibility.
All right, we would leave that for some other witnesses. Now let's go back to what you said about Silaba's child.
Video.
Well, Could you start it again?
Put the mic on.
Yes.
Volume.
Nearby the speaker.
Take it back.
Yes.
Take it back.
Yes. It will.
Take it back. Stop it. The interpretation that came through is I have never held the hand, I have never set eyes on his son. Was that you said in full?
What the interpreter said, and that's not what I said. Listen to the tape.
So,
listen to the tape, what I said.
Just hold a second. Was there an interpretation mistake or not?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Okay. It
Because
was
I
an
did the interpretation
mistake.
Yes, I did the interpretation.
All right.
Can you increase the volume so the commission hears exactly what you guys have? We
Well,
didn't
I
hear
guess
anything.
it's a technical problem. Okay. It's a technical problem. We can provide the timestamp for the commissioners to take a look at it later. But I think the interpreters confirmed that the mistake was theirs. He said something in fuller, and the interpretation that came through was that he said son. The witness is saying he said child. Well, our interpreter said they made the mistake, so we have to accept that it was their mistake. So, thank you, Mr. Cham.
Ajarama, Mr. Cham.
For answering my questions. Before I yield the floor, do you regret the tortures you carried out at the NIA?
Nda bade de waddare ndu woni labbugol ma wadugol yimbe ko muusi de waddade NIA nda annimsi dum.
Dum minimsi dum no bere te kala do way won.
I regret that very seriously, and whoever it may be.
Wherever
it may be.
Si tawi ngandumi yo mi anda fo mi nimsi dum be pare mi do yafno. Whether I was aware or not, I am saying that I regret, and I'm appealing for forgiveness. To mi do andi lakara e hore mum dum alla lamdo tokam dum mi yawta sirata dum mi wada dum settle. And I know that even in the next world, I will be questioned about that. I will not cross the bridge without me being questioned about that. Anybody who can forgive me before that. I'm appealing to you. And for this,
I really this. I regret it, and Allah knows that.
So ko Allah andi non ko woni bernde neddo.
It is Allah who knows whatever is in a person's mind.
Kono non ngal Allah henelalo.
But for Allah and His Messenger,
kala bawo kam dum yaforo.
Anybody who can forgive me,
tori.
I am appealing to you.
Wi.
This is what I can say. Tell you.
Among your victims
is a female.
There is a female.
Among your victims was a female cast worked at Nawek. Who said she was severely kicked and beaten like a football.
What
do you say to her?
Alani mi salaki wande na ma mi salaki junga amme mimbo.
I have made it clear. I cannot refuse to say that I didn't refuse. I didn't
say I cannot refuse. I say I did not refuse.
Misalaki.
I did not refuse. I couldn't mean. What do you mean?
Yes. Okay. I am.
Misalaki wande na ma junga amme mimbo.
What I said is that I'm appealing to her to forgive me. If she can forgive me from now against the next war, I am appealing to her to forgive me.
No further questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Council, and thank you, Mr. Cham, for coming to testify before the Commission.
Yeah, man, when you heard John Deng, we want them, Oyeti Council, Oyeti Mang said, Mr. Cham, Argolmangal, John Nado said, Agalmangal.
Before I turn to the Commissioners for any questions they may have,
I'm going
to take you through a few very unpleasant points. First, if you can help us for the record, the list of methods of torture that NIA agents use. Laabi ɗi ɓe ƴettata ɗin ɗum woni feere nde ɓe ƴettata nden pour si ɓe waɗa yimɓe ɓe badde ɗum woni lappugol ma waɗugol ɓe ko muusi honno ɓe waɗirta ɗum siɗa wawi hawlude ɗum yimɓe. If you want me to give you 1 or 2 examples, siɗa faalami jonnama misaluji ɗiɗi. You have beatings. Woni premier on lappugol neɗɗo. You have electrocutions. Ɗum mum ɗum woni ɓe ƴetta machine ɓe poosama e courant on. And so on and so forth. Yari non kono yari no waɗirton non no siɗon waɗa yimɓe ɗe baɗe muusude. You must be aware of the various methods of torture. Hiɗa foti faamude feere peereji ɗi ƴettaton ɗin siɗon waɗa yimɓe ɗe baɗe ɗum woni lappugol ɓe ma waɗugol ɓe ɗe ngol muusugol e ɓandu maɓɓe. Start with that and then continue with a few related to torture. Adorto ɗum ɗon si iwi ɗon yehen e goɗɗi ɗi ndi andana wandema hino ko ɗin yettoton.
Ɗiɗon ɗi mbiɗa ɗi ko hen bokki.
Yes, the two that you've mentioned are part of it.
Not the two, the ones you mentioned, ko hen bokki.
He mentioned the two.
This is why I said the ones he mentioned.
Beatings
That's what
and
I said.
electrocutions.
I did not say 2 there.
Yes, okay, the ones he mentioned.
Ko hen bokki.
They were part of it.
Now, what kadi ayasa adama joni njoni adula goto hay goto halda tama hay goto time silence technique.
Well, sometimes if a person is brought, they will just put you at one place. Nobody will take to you. Nobody will have anything to do with you. That's the silence technique.
Non comme ndiam he yagete ko nyamte dum guys foti okete dum.
But they will give you food and water.
And if
you want to visit the restroom too, they will allow you. And these are things that happen there.
Let's focus on physical torture.
joni fewtan e ɗum woni ƴettugol sawru lappa on tigi ɓandu tigi.
If you can give me some examples of what NIA uses. I'm aware of at least maybe 15 or so. I had gone to Copenhagen on behalf of the United Nations to a torture rehabilitation center. And the methods that are displayed in that center, they're extraordinary. You added monkey dancing. You didn't mention that one, but you can just stay with the physical tortures for the moment. We will. I'll come back to you on that.
And yes, monkey dancing, and it is also a part of physical fitness, because that will also give you the physical fitness. Yes. Even though it's a form of punishment. Go ahead.
Yes, that's part of it.
Like what got my handcuff, jude ma de kabe, wala like no jidani quite ma de kabe.
And also they will tie your hands and tie your legs.
Waterboarding?
No, waterboarding mean komi andi dal. Mi say adani like mi do andi ne numna wada lote ndiam. You know, when jurma ndiam, I got this sita ina bubi ni ne sa jurama ndiam, dumne na wai wande.
Yes, that is part of it. It's possible. Like cold water, they can pour it on you. That happens.
Again, this is for the record, the methods of torture that you use at NIA. That's what we're working on. So waterboarding is one of those.
Yes.
Hey.
Any more?
And like taiko military ni the jungle si watani ayakadi dumani ono vitabo ngona hada wada unity basel. You roll by your head like
yes,
this.
Just as
when
the junglers are also handling you, you can be made to roll on your head, turning round and round while you go roll on your head.
And does NIA give a training on these methods?
The NIA
no, jangin tage they don't pay it. Kono midandi like the silence technique dum na tawa he ko jangin tego. Ko silence technique dum woni joni arani go in net do arat on bo lobi ha boxiti. Silence don't media don't not tawa he ko jangin tego.
Well, as for these head rules, they don't teach people or train people about that. But for the silence technique, when somebody comes, is angry, yes, that happens.
Yeah, Johnny, I
you can leave that person alone there until when the person now recovers.
Well, so corporate dumani nani wala corporate renda on dal o wala on ko dabiton ko wala on dabitir don dum na ya silence technique because ada be 72 hours yona ya jot number on dan se ya jipagon ma foti njaha gadi si weti kadi ngaksa ko way non hande 72 hours maybe go dia ya be kabat si be kabitan be ngarat be bima ko nangam henangam ni dum woni.
Well, as for the silence technique also happens when somebody is uncooperative. Somebody who is brought there and he's not ready to help you people, you just put the person and leave the person alone there in the silence technique. So when within the 72 hours, some of them will just come by themselves and cooperate and give you maybe the information that you want. They will cooperate anyhow. That happens also.
With this long list of methods that are used to torture individuals, which ones have you used them personally yourself on victims?
Monkey dance.
I have made somebody to do the monkey dance.
Be pare kadi aya joni kadi mi lemiri neddo jungo am.
I have also hit somebody with my bare hands.
Yes.
Yes.
Those were the only two methods that you used throughout your 15 years with NIA?
Duuɓi sappo ɗi waɗɗa ɗin gol liggiɗa NIA ɗin fof ko ɗeɗo keɗe gueɗe ɗiɗi tan ƴettuɗa nafiroɗɗa pour ɓittingol neɗɗo.
Silent technique, or yes, to some extent.
Yes, to some extent, I also use the silent technique.
The monkey dance, and you said that had two objectives. One, to help the victim to
physical fitness,
exercise.
and also for inflict pain.
Ida monkey dance on ɗum ɗon ko nafa ɗiɗi wonton ɗum woni tiiɗina on tigui te on tigui ɓe musinaymo ɓandu ɗum kadi.
Yes.
One was to victimize, and two was to help him or her exercise his own good.
Yes, I've never done it to a woman.
A female.
Right. Commissioners, if you have any questions, Deputy Chair, please go ahead.
Deputy Kiawu mano on ma arda e landagol.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Esa. Thank you, Mr. Cham.
Deputy Kia Owi, thank you. O jarama Kia man, ada jarama e council, a jarama ankadi sede.
By your behavior here,
no holirɗa ni hoore ma ɗo.
You have demonstrated that you are a temperamental person.
A holli men ɗo ko neɗɗo manduɗa ɓernde ma immay a looɓay.
You get easily angered when things do not go your way.
A looɓay ko yawi sita piiji ɗin yarani anno yiɗirni.
Even in a respectable environment like the TRRC.
Even hay sita ko dula manduɗa ko dula manduɗa yimɓe ɓen no teɗɗini ɗon no wano TRRC ɗo no wayi.
Your mood swings have shown that you can engage in unpredictable behavior when things do not go your way.
Ɗum holli a wawa wonde nodde mo anduɗa o sansay ko yawi tumango wona neɗɗo mo anduɗa mboni ɓuuɓi tumango wona neɗɗo mo anduɗa fi makko no wuli a waway sansude wa'a noon.
This can lead to detrimental action on your part.
Ɗum noon waway wadde mbaɗa goɗɗum no mo anduɗa no muusi.
A person that is being investigated.
Mbaɗa ɗum neɗɗo mo anduɗa oɗon laara fi makko.
Did the NIA
joni NIA non
provide you training in anger management and in investigative techniques?
Joni non NIA ɓe jangini on pour neɗɗo saɗo waɗa sifaɗi golle pour wawa wonde neɗɗo ta mo anduɗa o looɓata o neɗɗo mo anduɗa o muñay ɓe jangini on ɗum ɗon sengona kala and what else, madam?
Investigative techniques.
Sita oɗon dartina fi goɗɗo o ɓe jangini on ɗin fereji na? Yes.
You had the training in anger management and in investigative techniques.
Jangini on pour no wawata marirde looɓere ma sa no dartina fi goɗɗo on kala no waɗirta on ligge ɓe jangini on ɗin ɗon fof.
Mi jangi ɗum no bete because wona ɗo he leydi tan mi jangi ɗum.
I was trained very well in these things, and it was not even in this country.
The kadi min wada sa ndari no mi halektani yimɓe anduɓe kamɓe tigi tigi e gandi no mi halektani wona ɗum tigi woni min tigi tigi.
And how some people, a lot of people who know me know that this is my way of talking. It doesn't mean any adverse thing on my side, but
andi non sa anda kam nan way fo because musibe ambe e koy mabbe ngandi ko kan wala be liggodami te kala mo liggodami ne sa anda tam because hay si awada ma transfer to mi woni wala ngoni be mbiyama he ay to mo ngantama ko baddo difficult because am principle di ko kono andube kambe tigi billahi wana no pogigdani because halam ka min simido hala goddi no mi haliri fo ko non hala ka jesokta poganda ko ni mido lobi te tawata mi loba ameda nan mido haba office amen hay godo wabi mido haba ton wala la godo wala hoddibe am.
Well, I am somebody, this is part of my nature. The way I speak, the more I speak, the more my voice rises. Because even the office where I work, if somebody is transferred there, what they usually tell the person is that, here you've gone to a difficult place. But those people who know me very well, they know that this is the way how I speak. Because even if that is the case, I've never even fought with anybody. It's just my nature.
And the Minjata Morocco, Minjade Ben Benganakam, after Dumbe Kononia Minjahi, Bengari become Minan Nomin Bira and Nikulia having Tairimani when I go to.
And when we were going to Morocco, I went to Morocco with some people. But when we came back, what they told me was that, well, we were, the information we got about you is quite different. We didn't see the way that you were portrayed.
Boss, I mean, Sadi, Humbo Andy, first time me Aridon, Haimako Humbo Mugami Alani, no me fogging no net money when I got him, Lahi, Gandudum Tiki. Min wana minute of it now, when I no Pogida no Mihale, Kono, Nalan Mineno Mihalikani, Koni Alawadir come. I mean Mido Andy, Dumko weakness, Dumnataki Fera, Nakam de Bihul. This is Bilahi, when I Tiki when you mean.
This is my nature, it is not part of being somebody. It is the way I speak, it is the way I talk. Even my boss, after being with him, then he told me one day, well, the way you were portrayed to me turned out to be a different person. It is my nature, it is the way I speak, it is the way I do things, but it doesn't mean that I am somebody who is a troublesome person.
I lose away and Galambe have Gandhi. Say, Daba Sudu Admani, Benga America, Cham, Demidabato Sud, Mimiko Cham, when Kodundo Vieta come in. I get a Lamengal Hebengandi, so I'm my better Hebengandi.
Even in my compound, if somebody is, those who live in my compound, even if you ask them, that's what they will tell you. I'm somebody who is not a troublesome person, but the way I speak is my nature. I'm just like this. It is how Allah created me. But I am not a person who likes to offend people. I don't like telling lies. And I'm somebody who always wants to be straightforward. Soap cannot wash itself clean, but people who know me know what I'm talking about. And those who know where I come from, they also know.
Thank you, Mr. Cham. But with all due respect to you, we say actions speak louder than words.
Ajarama, Mr. Cham, kono netto no wadir da piji, kono ni yimbe ben nangiritama.
And the Commission can only assert your behavior from what we've seen over the past 2 days.
Commission o kobe yi no wadirta ni walla no hollirda horema di balde didi konon be wawata ma nangirde.
According to you, you have been adequately trained.
No wirda ni be janginima ko foti.
The purpose of training people and of educating them
dalila ko be janginta yimbe to be walla ma kala be holla ma fereje ligeden
is to bring about positive behavior change on their part.
Ko dalila makko ko lumoni pour be sansa joma o wona yim neddo mo anduda mo yaada e lawol o yaada e piiji no yimbe be yidiri ni e golle den no yidiri ni.
I hope that the experience here
mi sikku awa ko yalti do ko
will lead to you taking positive steps.
Walla ma pour ankala joni banga lawol mo anduda no serti no hollirda hore madi
to change your behavior.
Pour sansa no wadirta ni.
We would also like to offer you the services of the psychosocial department of the TRRC.
TRRC no marido liggotobe manduda be walla yimbe ngon sengo pour lobre pour be jippina lobre ma membawa ma okude ballal e ngon sengo kala
to help you in managing your anger.
Pour be walla ma no wawata muinde e dow lobre ma sa lobi.
Okay, thank you.
Jarama
jeb mi do ma nyaagi anne kadi pour ngoka kam dua pour dum don.
I thank you very much, madam, and I'm also appealing to you to pray for me so that that will happen to me.
It is extraordinary that you said you never fought anybody.
Yes.
Yet you had a reservoir of aggression that you took out on victims. You're capable of beating somebody under your control, but not able to fight somebody of your stature and age, perhaps.
Wonti anduɗa men sikkano ɗum wayri wiiɗa a meeɗa habde goɗɗo kono noon a heeɓi ɓernde mo anduɗa wawa wadde a lippat goɗɗo a lippat neɗɗo ko muusi kono noon wayri wiiɗa a meeɗa habde goɗɗo a ɗum noon no jakini ko ɗum waɗi ha miɗo haala ɗum.
Commissioner Samba, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Samba kala falama lamdude.
Thank you very much, Chairman.
Jarama, Chairman.
Ndelafte nyinen kala ku kilinela Mr. Cham.
Hunde wotere mi falama lamdude Mr. Cham. I want to ask you one thing, Mr. Cham.
Sede kilin nata janne.
One witness came here.
Ako alla NIA.
He said at the NIA,
Alkadena no sacrifice.
They bring babies there for sacrifice.
Atekita sedo la sinyafula.
And the person said he witnessed this thing twice.
Yedena no ke karton kono.
A baby was placed in a carton.
And
you put this baby in a carton and you sealed it and brought it to him and tell him to keep it until your boss comes. You did it once. You did it on the second time. He said after these babies were brought, he checked. The first one was alive because the baby was moving inside the carton, but the second one doesn't even move.
So because
I want you to clear that portion, because this witness said it here and the whole world heard this.
That
witness, what I can say about the witness is a liar, and that witness was not telling the truth. That was not true.
Cukalel jibinangel boyani nadon ada purwago sa tawata mine office of do mi tawa ala mo njaming bi min dara nam dum so na mako.
Well, I am not mad to handle babies like that, saying that to put a baby in a carton just as he stated, and there was nobody whom I ever told to look after a baby for me if it was not for him. And if you look at that, it cannot be true. And in fact, those babies, where am I going to get them from? It is not true. And if had it happened, yes, I will say here that it's true, it happened. But it was not true, it was a lie. That person doesn't tell the truth.
Ite fe woto ite sobite songa kadum ko mamo foe
no interpreta o wi every time bo wi amin wadum play wadum tire
if it is let them play the video
then edida bango
flanjaw
ani la fela num pura because ate sound la ko mani
di dom fo wona di gonga la bi di dom fo wona gonga
ko sinya flo be manke to nyati.
Okay, lafte dani la men na fana fulanjang.
What I also want to appeal to you for, secondly,
as far as isontako yeli parokele,
as far as you agreed that you have hit people
and you mo jamale tocho
and you have tortured many people
and you will tocho yela
and you have abused those people's rights.
Ngamira inyantale purka woldani
I think you should appeal to those people so that they can forgive you. But the way you are appealing for forgiveness, I don't think that's the right way to do it. Anything has a way how to say it. When saying it, you say that true, what I have done is not correct. And you take it deep from your heart to say that what I did is not correct. So I'm appealing to you people to forgive me.
Truth and reconciliation and reparation.
I think sometimes as far they said truth, reconciliation and reparations, maybe some people will forgive you. And I think the way you are talking, just saying that forgive me, and you didn't take it deep from your heart, some of them, I think, will not forgive you.
So this
is what I can advise you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I've
heard what you said. The apologies I made here, I took it deep from my heart. And it is something which is in my mind. It is something really which I took from my heart. It is from my heart. I appeal to them and I'm begging them for that. Yes.
Commissioner Carr, and followed by Commissioner Kinte and the Bishop on my right, and then I'll turn to the commissioners on the left. Commissioner Carr, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. And thank you, Mr. Cham, for coming to testify before this commission. My first question to you is, you call torture Primparam. Do you have other names for torture at the NIA? What other names did you use for torture?
Landi am follow den ko do ni awi torture ko duwe wobene Primparam. Da sa yoti Primparam ko la pugol sifa hon dunga woni ton ka NIA naftor.
Ko pular me hali ko pular.
I spoke this in Fula.
Okay, thank you. The second is, we've had witnesses who came here and told us you had torture instruments at the NIA. And the chairman asked you about the torture methods you used at the institution. So logically, it would just be that some of these torture methods went with, went with certain instruments. What were some of these instruments that were used to torture people?
Idum ko woni ko ton odo sa min badi dum do list ha pari pour konti golli ko dum like machine courant.
There are things that we wrote on a list, things like the electrocution machine.
Yeah, we were handcuffs.
And handcuffs.
They don't that dumani when they don't ban li wadandi.
And that bed that was in a room there. And sticks.
We've heard about the talk-through machine. Do you know anything about that?
That's the machine I'm talking about. It is the electrocution machine.
Okay. And the third question, or the fourth question, is on, because we've also received testimony that there were some civilians within the population who were used as spies for the NIA.
As what?
People within the civilian population.
Yes.
Teachers.
Yes. That's true.
Even people at the market.
Yes.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
As a commissioner, we can recruit you.
Even you, as a commissioner, we can recruit you so that we'll know what is taking place at the commission here. It's true. Yes, it's true.
Okay, thank you. Those were my questions.
You
can try it. I don't think you would succeed. Commissioner Kinte, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Kinte Omar Elandagol Joni.
Mr. Cham, yesterday,
Mr. Cham Hangi,
in the beginning you said you overheard the tortures of Silaba Samate.
We do hanky wonder my syllabus some of the mete bitako hebiton go nanda with anani no.
Of course, later you yielded to the interrogation of the lead counsel by admitting that you saw it.
Gila landa gongol jaba gongol drugi hakuna ma council jabuda wida wonda ma ai wat mo be lapay mom.
But in a clandestine manner.
Kono no yiruda dum don hari labani makadi.
According to you, you peeped and saw Silaba.
That was not Silaba's case.
Sorry, maybe.
Yes.
Balokante.
Please, Balokante. Yes. Sorry, please, for the mistaking of the name. Balokante. And you confess that you saw him being electrocuted. Meaning you have seen the application. What indicated to you that he was being electrocuted while you were peeping?
Because I saw the machine in there.
The machine is an appliance. The application, the machine must have something that is applied to perform the function. How did that look like? The scenario.
The machine has electric cables which will be fixed into a socket.
So I imagine I dum don kawia wan de te anani no net ona luka so dum kawia kai dum don dumane ko dum dum.
If you see the machine and see somebody shouting or screaming, you will know that the machine is being used on him.
Yes, because you confirmed he's been electrocuted. Who was actually electrocuting Balokante?
Mi anda tigi ko hombode kono mi dandi kay masino omboton kono bedo ne tanango no ton bende mi beton dakton bembe mi no be hanki.
The people I named yesterday were the people inside there. But I don't know exactly which one of them was using the machine on him.
Let's go further. I think the machine has tools that are placed on the person, on an organ or part of a body.
Now what do you feel? What do you feel auto socket then what the output didn't feel it.
Yes, you see the machine. It has cables which will be plugged into a socket, and there are other cables which they will use to electrocute the person.
No, as output.
It has an output where...
But someone must control the output, otherwise it will be lying on the floor or idling somewhere.
No, feel you say the post ama kasoke to hidi jogi kinal kayaltire to ko jogete ko dianda na ko ngal kinal ton ka jogi ko don gal be posa daga bandu neddo
mi do andi kono rani mi no mi yirde ni bayti mi hudum don ni no mi jogne ni mi hudum non ni kono wana ande no mi ndak ko hudum senga kono mi do andi kay dum wada he block he.
Well, what I saw when I peeped inside was the machine. I saw the machine.
No, bogi dia di kapito di pemi hede mako kono ndako di kapba he mako ndako di kapba dum don kitanu te tanari joni ko mi boyandon ko mi arek because mi do humpa
and at that time I haven't spent a long time there when this incident happened. I saw the cables which went towards the victim, but I didn't see how it was fixed on him.
Who was immediately next to the victim during that period?
If I can remember. They put him in the middle. They surrounded him, the three people whom I named.
Except that if one will be holding the legs, the other the hands, and then the third guy, because you named three people.
And you know, I handcuffed.
And he was cuffed. His hands were cuffed. So he will not be able to do anything else.
In that case, why would we need all three people assembling around him? No, there must be someone applying. We want to know the applicator, the person applying.
Well, that's not clear to me. That's not clear to me who was doing the application.
You know you have sworn to the Quran.
Very well.
Very well.
You don't actually, in any case, you can't determine who was applying the machine on Barlow. Are you truthful?
Very well.
Very well.
Thank you.
Wallahi.
Thank you, Bishop Odiko.
Commissioner Bishop Odiko kadi fala malandade.
Thank you, Chairman.
We ajara makiyaman.
Mr. Omar Cham.
We Mr. Omar Cham.
I think in your testimony yesterday, you made mention that a medical board made a recommendation on your health condition. Can you kindly remind us what the recommendation was?
I think I have a copy of the medical report. Let me try to see it through here, then I read directly from it, if you would allow me. Sitai Jabanaka. I don't think I brought it here. Anyway, Kawai hand 14 yo.
This the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare at the Cotton letter reference C12 volume 3B.
They said the letter came from the Ministry of Health and the reference number, that's what he read.
Letter on Navinda March 1995.
1995, 14th March was the date on the document.
At the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Dobson Street, Banjul.
Address to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Dobson Street in Banjul.
Medical Board, Sergeant 1689 Omar Cham.
It was, the heading was Medical Board, Sergeant 1689
Omar Cham, GNA.
1689 Omar Cham, GNA.
And we want to know Medical Board. Na no group sol numa ono wite bom doctor be ngandama be chubano bendara kule jude Omar Cham de.
Certain doctors were selected to sit and look at the affairs of Omar Cham and about his hands.
Time bongalantama wibenai nambonganyo the only duty July Balejagom 1994.
Because he was wounded by some thieves on the 6th of July in 1994.
Then we Jude Makodene Ngonirini Dumo Hakta or Arata Olim, get the joy the Olimido.
And the condition of his hands, 5 things were counted.
We want to know middle one no Saturday, Monday, he do tawata yam no dum yaltigal no ni ta na boni no bete. He was severely in shock due to profuse bleeding. Number 1.
The first one was the profuse bleeding.
And number 2, mbikadi wande no mido heavy chopane bonde he jude ame.
And number 2, the second one was that he had serious cuts on his hands.
They
said his left hand.
dum do mi anda dum e pira be mbi olna nerve vascular bundle transection.
Well, that's a medical term with the
deep laceration wound left forearm with only neurovascular bundle transection. Number three.
Number three, that's also a deep cut was mentioned, plus followed by a medical term.
Number three, deep one nama ganyande bonde kadi jungo am nyamo he.
And it was also stated that he had a serious wound on his right hand. And also his right thumb also had a cut. And his palm was also having a cut.
Proximal forearm with injury to ulnar nerve.
And on his hand also, it was said that there was a wound which he sustained on his hand.
Number one, deep laceration wound of right thumb, right wrist, and proximal forearm with injury to the ulnar nerve.
Well, another medical term, but they said, it was said that his thumb and his hand were also wounded, which were serious.
Nayabo mbi kadi mido hebi gagnande bonde he do jungo sango nyamo do hebaw am he dum woni do en.
And the fourth one also, they said I had a serious wound.
No, dum ko guy, sorry, wana to bawoto. Woni deep laceration wound, right mastoid occipital region of scalp. Dum woni ndedo gagnande sopande wonde do hebaw
the wound he sustained on his on the back of his head.
Mindi kadi mido hebi yuwande bande to bawo am do hede jungo nyamo do hebaw he taka yel am bawngal. Woni stab wound over dorsal region of left erector spine muscle.
They said he had a deep stab wound which also was very close to his spine.
Mbi joni de gagnande on waktu me mbata dum do condition amo na wonno wonde no ma mi wawa nangu hunde ko moƴƴi jungo am jungo nyamongo buri bonde jungo nanango.
And they said in that condition my right hand was seriously disabled, so that I cannot hold something properly.
And be reducing gripping power in both hands, left hand worse than right hand.
And they said my left hand was worse than my right hand, and I cannot grip things properly.
Didabo mi wonde nama jude am de ko de mayat be pare kadi sako he bubol ayat jude de ko de mayat ta de mbata dum maninde dum woni stiffen and frozen hands to cold weather.
And it was also stated that during cold weather my hands will become stiff and frozen, so that their function will be limited.
And his current disability is rated at 50%. And horogol jude am de joni ye ha psycho temedere chapande joy de fo mo yatane jude ame.
And it was based on these wounds mentioned, they said his ability has been reduced by 50% to use his hands properly.
I support the recommendation of the members of the board to retire him from service. He should also be compensated for his disability rate at 50%. Signed, Director of Health Services.
And it was said that the Director of Health Services signed, saying that he recommends him to be retired because of the disability that has happened to him because of his hands. So and he should be compensated for that.
Medical board report or a horemako, a horemum, you know, on midom jogi.
I also have the report of the medical board itself.
This is Konidun.
That's how things
Mr. Chair.
No sensation.
Mr. Chair, with all due respect.
You want to raise a point of order?
Yes, with all due respect, this is very interesting. It suffices that he just puts the report in. This is way before he joined the NIA, and really would not have much of a significant bearing on the proceedings, much as this is interesting. So I suggest that perhaps we just put in the documents so that the commissioners can see it for themselves and evaluate it.
That's right. And if you decide to suggest their inclusion as exhibits, then we can do that as well. But that decision will be yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Bishop, if you want to continue?
Looking at you physically, presently, that report does not seem to, actually describe you in your physical presence as now.
O report o hollirani wonde mo an tigi tigi no wonirɗa ni ka wonɗo no ɓandu maɗo no kelɗiri no tiiɗiri ni hollirani ɗum ni joni ni.
Ani report oɗo ko on tuma tebe pare report o kadi ko affaire juuɗe am de kono wona ɓandu am de horom ko affaire juuɗe am de gañande am de.
The report was referring to the time when I was checked, and the report was also referring to my hands, not my whole body.
Te ƴeftugol goɗɗum ɗum tigi hoorem ko probléme am te pare windugol kadi aya jungo am de wonanna diwna na ɓosto.
And also to hold something, to grip something strongly, sometimes is a problem for me. And even to write, sometimes you will see my hands shaking.
Thank you. Imam Jallo, you have the floor, followed by Commissioner Kai. You said you had an additional question. We'll come back to you.
Imam Jallo, on my air de London.
Witness, ang OCD, and ko pular mi halata.
I will speak in Fula.
Ang gilanatu da ide golle.
Since when you went into this job,
e boneji ko waddon fo onon fo in their own office.
And all the wrongs you committed in that office, you beat people, you locked up people, you offended people. Up to this time, some people who did those crimes are still working in that job. Now you, as for you, where are you working right now? At the same place. Lord. You think that's safe? Because how I saw you, and how you speak, and how you behave, you have not changed. And also, you people there, all of you, people who did these wrong things to people, according to your own thinking, what should have happened to you people? You don't think what's good for you people to leave the job for and resign from the job by yourselves? What do you think? Yes, you people, you are seeking what you have been mandated to seek for. Now, at the end of the day, at the end of your job, it's left to you people to recommend what you think is better. And I think if somebody did commit a wrong and the person regrets his crimes and now that person comes to apologize, well, it's left for people to look at it. Yes.
Thank you. Imam C, you have the floor.
Greetings to you and thanks for agreeing to come here. Two things I'll ask. The other one is I will advise you. The one I'll ask you about is the fuller people who wounded you. Well, how did it end up? Nothing happened about it. And they were not arrested. They were arrested, of course, but what should have happened didn't happen. My second thing is I will advise you. Those people who you've tormented, who you've tortured, what I'm advising you is to seek their forgiveness and you apologize to them. This is what I have to tell you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Bojan, did you want the floor? Sorry.
Witness.
He said witness. He said
Commissioner Samba
Commissioner Samba questioned you about something. Which is about the babies in the cartons. I don't know how you will take that question. But the witness who stated it here said Mfali Jabang. Now I want to ask you, Mfali Jabang, whether that person is still working within the security apparatus or where is that person working now? Whether at that time he was working with the security unit, the NIA.
Fali Jabang bomi andio.
The Fali Jabang I know.
What
I know is that he is a soldier. He never worked at the NIA.
Military intelligence. And
if I can remember, he was a member of the military intelligence unit. That's where he was working.
Okay, well, I'm left I am Fali Jaban for Amafo Omar Cham. So, what I'm going to from Fali Jaban be NIA. Permisses I do call to Fata do. Witness or I will.
The witness named Mfali Jabang, not Omar Cham. This is why I want this point to be clear.
Okay, Abaraka.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Thank you, Commissioner Kai. Your additional question?
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Cham, the question is in relation to the talk-through machine that you mentioned. Do you know what happened to that machine?
Mr. Cham,
and do you know where we can find it?
Kodumoni oya machine ko be wiete ko talk through hala machine hala gonga joni non mi anda on machine ko hono o sakitori
on machine mina gandal am koto store to moptik de to bagage ji koton on he ko mi andi so mi anda non ndako boto na joni ndako ala ton dum mi anda dum.
What I know about that machine is that it was placed in a store where we park our things. Still, I don't know whether it is still there or not. I don't know anything about it now. But at that time, it was placed in the store. Mike.
Which time are you referring to?
Waktu hombo haltani, waktu hombo warno dum ender magazine o.
Andum lo min do gandalam ko on tuma around 2000 or around late 90s 2000 around on tuma because mi do andi wonde no ma si o yusaga ko ton o wanda ko ton woni plasma ko ton o wanda so comme tagum mi ko ton o woni e do gandalam.
How the last time I knew of anything about this machine was in the late 90s or towards 2000, but after that I cannot say anything about the machine. I don't know. I don't know.
The place where it used to be kept.
And that's the place, the store, that's where it used to be kept.
Thank you. Mr. Cham, before I give you the floor to make final remarks, if you have any, what compensation are you receiving at the moment from the government?
Mr. Cham, okama lawol pour ankala ferma yewtere ma joni ko be fotuma okkude ballal ko be fotuma okkude ko hono be wallirtama joni o darnde.
Compensation pour what?
Compensation for what?
Pension, disability payments, anything coming from the government.
No wayno pension walla gagnande maɗen ballal ko ɓe fotima okkude dow ɗum kala ko mo anduɗa laamu ngu no ma okkude pour ɗin ɗon.
Mi yoɓaka pensions ko salaries mi yoɓete te ɓe pare affaire compensation injuries am ɗiɗo ɗum waɗanoma gila 1995 ɓe gokkuno kam ujunaji capanɗe nayyi he tati e temeɗe joyi e nogase joyi.
As of now, I'm receiving my salary. I have not been pensioned, but since 1990?
1995.
It was in 1995 that I was compensated. Ujunaji jelu. It was $40,525. That's the amount I was compensated for.
And like other torturers, the 9, 7, or whatever number you confirm that you had tortured, contributing to your salary and other payments coming to you from the government. How do you feel about that?
Joni yimbe manuda ametini dumen ko jeedidi walla ko jeenay kala ko woni joni fi ben don mi anda hono yirda fi mabbe kambe non darde mabbe no woni
ni dum ko nganantama wadi tebe pare min mido dum nimsi.
Well, that as for that what I can say about that is that it's something that has taken place and I really regret what has taken place, what has happened. And I am appealing to them for forgiveness.
Fine. If you have any final remarks to make, please proceed to do so now.
Joni sita hebi kongol mo anduda afala dum hollirde do walla leydi ndi joni awawa continuade hala dum din halaji.
In komi mido yeta kalambo wana.
I am extending my greetings to everybody. Also, I would like to mention that everything has an end, especially in this world. And every person, when you die, you go along with your deeds. You don't go with anything else.
Tumuyeji dimi tumani ko gonga mi jabi dum ko nawadi god madani ko sukabe ambe mi wondi ko e mbadi ko kala ko e mbay won baydi ko mi wonde ma fo mi jefta dum mi ya ko min.
And the accusations alleged on me, yes, I agreed to them. And also, as far as I was the head of the team, my juniors, whatever wrongs they committed, I take responsibility for it. These are the things that I said happened. And as for the lady who was mentioned, really, truly, I touched her with my hands.
Yeah, because me do mani what you first put what I make so one day or nange.
And I made it a force so that she will be caught. But as for the others, it is not that I personally hit them. And if it has been done by my genius, especially in my presence, I take the responsibility. And I am appealing for forgiveness for those things, and I really regret those things. And I'm appealing to them to forgive me on those things. But for Silaba Samate, Jesus,
Jibril Waka,
Jibril Waka,
mi yarlaki mi yafaki be.
I will never forgive them.
Because ko be tumi kam ko wona ko hebi.
Because the accusations they leveled against me were all false. And all that they said about me, I take it and I place it before Allah. And I'm appealing to anybody, people who like me and who like them too. And let them all pray so that Allah will Allah will judge between me and them.
Because they come to me serious.
Because they leveled serious accusations against me. And it is not true. Allah knows that it is not true, and they themselves know that it is not true. And the others who accused me, those I personally hit and those I didn't hit, as for them, I'm appealing to them to forgive me.
Because at the end of
yes, this is what I can say, because I know that there is a day when everybody will go to the hereafter. And at that time, everybody will face your deeds.
So, you know me, Hal?
This is what I wanted to say.
You know,
I'm thanking everybody. And I'm still appealing to these people to forgive me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope there wouldn't be any torturers in Al-Akhirah. We see what happens.
Hell is there.
Yeah. We thank you very much indeed, Mr. Cham, for coming to...
Mr. Cham, ajabi pour aragol do oka sede agalma.
Mr. Chair.
And there wouldn't be any, there wasn't any parang here at TRRC. But we thank you again for coming to testify before the Commission.
There were no scuffles and torturing at the TRRC here. Thanks for coming anyway.
Thank
Council,
you.
You have
Thank you very
matters
much.
To
yes, Mr. Chair, I need to put in the exhibits.
Yes.
The first one should be Exhibit 189. That is the report on the investigation into the shooting incident which resulted in the death of Mr. Deda Haidara, editor-in-chief and co-proprietor of the Point newspaper. It's a report dated 29 April 2005. That should be Exhibit 189.
189.
And then the report submitted to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. This is a report on additional investigation report into the activities of the former IGP N. Sabaji, dated 7 May 2010, conveyed under letter dated 13 May 2010. That should be Exhibit 189A. And the response from Jame indicating his dissatisfaction with some of the findings would be Exhibit 189B, and the report on Gambia, the country report on human rights practices for 2001 should be Exhibit 189C.
The author for the last one, is that the State Department?
State Department, U.S. State Department report, yes.
Thank you very much, Council. Your request granted.
Thank you.
And we will take a lunch break and come back at 2:30. 2:30. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much. Yeah.